Hey guys, it's me Rodney,
It's me, Missy.
and today we're Treasure Tuesdays,
Treasure
but bad
Tuesdays.
news. We don't have any treasures to show today. The only thing we got today is this. Missy got 2 overhead doors and she went ahead and prepped them. So we're just going to do a decoupage and paint video because we were really disappointed in our trip to go and get stuff. We actually didn't get anything except for these 2 doors.
I think the weather is not helping in that kind of way. Yeah. So it wasn't a day for us. So I mean, it happens.
It does happen.
It happens.
Not as doesn't happen as often as you think, but it was really inconvenient that it happened today.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially since the name of the stream is Treasure Tuesdays.
But we do have this, so.
And this will be a treasure when she's done with it.
I think it's going to turn out pretty good. I've already started working on the pieces, so I should be able to take y'all through them pretty quick.
Oh, I forgot. So I figured out why our noise was popping, why we've been having the popping issues on our audio. And it's because I have my phone sitting right beside the receiver. So anytime I would get a message or a notification on my phone, it would interfere with the wireless microphones. Donna said, hello from rainy but warmer Missouri.
Yeah, we are warmer and we are also rainy.
Yep. Karen said, hey, y'all. Karen. I think, Karen, you just bought something from us online today, didn't you? On Facebook. I'm pretty sure that was you. Jamie said, good evening.
Hi, Jamie.
Tina said, hello, everyone.
Hi, Tina.
Now, I loaded those tables up. Did we drop them off at the store for Tina?
Yes, okay. I messaged her, so she's good to go.
Karen said, best to save your money for the treasures you do find instead of settling.
That's true.
That is true.
100%. If it doesn't speak to you, it's no good. All right, so this is what I do have. And we are going to decoupage these up today. So these are doors off an old china cabinet.
I knew it was Karen.
Was it?
The embroidered, embroidery.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
What did it say on it? It said something neat.
Something about wildflowers.
Be like a wildflower or something like that. It's cool.
But so they're old china doors or china cabinet doors, right? I don't know where the china cabinet is, but I do have. I'm like, these could still be reused for something. Like, I think that they would be really fun to make into something new. I like arches or big wall decor, so I feel like that these would be great for that. And I just so happen to have some of the big Dixie Belle's big. Are you this way? They're big rice paper. So we're going to do this. So I'm going to start y'all off with this one, and then we'll move to the next one.
It's called Ancient Marrakesh. I don't have it order some more. So as soon as I get it ordered, actually I'll go ahead and load it up tonight. And then I'll go ahead and order it first thing in the morning so we can get it in stock.
Right. It's a really pretty paper. It's very neutral, so it could go like with
and those are how much?
$18.95.
And how big is it?
And it's a 22 by 33. Am I reading? I'm reading it upside down.
It's 22 by 33 inch, roughly. They give a bunch of point numbers because you know, they leave that bleed on the edge.
It's a big sheet of paper, so it's really good for something like this and for furniture. So it's really big. It's got a really pretty design on it. It's a little bit looks like distressed and stuff. Very neutral colors. It's got some. It's like a cream background with some tan and a little bit of yellowish gold with a blue.
Let me adjust the color on the camera just a second real quick. So don't move it. Let's see. Which one is it? I think it's that. No, not brightness. There we go. We got to change our contrast because what it's doing is the white balance is off a little bit. So let's unlock the white balance. And that should be, let me take a look at the main screen. Yes, there we go. That's accurate. Yes.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's a really pretty color. It's a really pretty paper. It's very neutral. I think and this would be good paper too if you were going to do furniture or wanting to do a piece of furniture and decoupage it. It's big enough like that. So
Karen said you are among the wildflowers is what it said.
that's it. That's it. Yeah, I remembered the wildflowers. That's what I remember. Okay, so we are actually, because this is glass, this is the back side of the china cabinet. So the blue that you see is the tape. I taped off the front side. I went ahead and put a coat of paint on the back side so that way it would this side would be done when I flipped it over. And we will paint the front side, and we are going to use DC Bell's silk paint. It's your all-in-one paint. But this is how we're going to decoupage it. So we're going to put the pretty side of the paper, which we're wanting to see, we're going to put it down, and then I'm going to have to, you're going to have to pull it that way.
Pull it this way?
Yeah.
Until we get lined up with the very bottom,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to decoupage it into the center.
Doing this larger stuff's a little bit more complicated than what we usually do.
Okay. I have to go and get that stuff from back here because I completely forgot.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you hold on to that and I just thought about it.
Okay. I'm going to hold it still in place so it doesn't move.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to.
Oh, okay. Well, while she's doing that, guys, I'm going to show you guys our Decoupage of the Month papers for February because I know that's what everybody wants to see, I think. A lot of cutting out, but it could be me. So our audio's cutting out? Yeah, probably. Too many people on a Wi-Fi, probably. I need to get us a corded access. Speaker, wireless microphone, 48%. Well, there. That's probably one problem right there. I didn't know that. Let's see if that makes a difference. Okay. So this is the first one. So this is part of Missy's Moody Spring series that she's wanting to go with. And this is our February Decoupage of the Month Club papers. So they'll release right after the first. That's number 2. We're throwing in some here's some landscape images. So 2 of them's landscape, 3 of them are in portrait format. They're saying our audio is cutting out pretty bad. So it's gonna be the internet. Too much internet usage. This is another landscape scene. So that's number 4, and here's number 5. I kind of like this one the most because it's really sepia tone with a little bit of green, and it fades from yellow down to the green, and then down to yellow at the very bottom. I kind of like that a lot.
Those are really pretty.
Karen said beautiful.
They're very pretty. They're very pretty.
Thank you, Karen. These ones took me a little bit longer than I thought they would, but the scenes themselves are pretty complicated, and
they got a lot of detail to them.
Yeah, and I had to design a couple custom brushes in Corel Painter to make it work out the way I needed it to.
They're very pretty.
Cat's online. She said better late than never.
Hi, Cat. Hi. Yeah, so Decoupage of the Month Club, I'm excited about February's for sure. Okay, so one thing that I did learn is that I needed to cut some of this away. So you said you have it lined up down there?
Yes, it's lined. Well, no, it's not no more.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
So if you just want to hold it.
Yeah, I'll hold it.
And what I'm going to do is so I'm just going to cut the excess paper that I don't need away because the top of this is a little bit of arched. But I don't want to cut off too much because it is going to, I'm going to clear coat it. So I'm just wanting to make sure that because I need this to be able to go under the arch.
Tina said those are going to make some beautiful mini album covers.
Those
yes,
would. They're
I
very
think
pretty.
I think they would be great for that. Like or the what was it you did that time? With the folio.
It was an
sideways.
album.
It was an album.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because that would work great on those.
Okay, so if you hold that, and what I'll do is I'm gonna fold this half back.
Because the key here is not to let it get cattywampus on you.
Right, and we are gonna use clear coat to put the paper down onto the glass, and I'm just using the DC Bell Scarlet brush. It's a good finishing brush, but it's also going to allow me to get a smooth finish as far as that goes. So I'm just going to dip it in, and I'm going to paint it on the glass. And I just tried to keep it as smooth as possible. I didn't like let it like get thick and, or what am I trying to say?
You want to keep it thin.
Puddle, yeah.
Yeah,
I just kept it thin.
Up.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. Okay.
Karen agreed with Tina. She said yes.
Yes.
About the albums.
Okay, so, and then.
All right.
We're good?
Yep. We're level at the bottom.
And then I just pressed it down and smoothed out any wrinkles. And I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm just wanting to get enough. And this is where it was a little bit more complicated up here in this area, because it has this weird arch. So I'm just kind of like putting some clear coat on my brush and then pushing the paper up underneath the arch, because I just want to make sure that my glass is all the way covered with the paper. And then like here, I kind of have to just snip it a little bit to make it fold.
It's kind of like wrapping a complicated Christmas present.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
We have to just make little cuts in it so you can get each piece in there.
Right. And I'm just putting the clear coat and tucking it. And
this
because
brush,
I am rubbing it, you might see some fibers on your brush from the decoupage paper, because I would be doing that whole overworking thing by doing this. But I didn't have any problems with the first one, so.
And this paper's a little bit thicker than ours.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think it gets the fibers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and it's got some bigger, fatter fiber pieces than ours.
See, like,
too.
See how it does that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
If you guys have any questions about what we're doing right now, let us know.
So all I'm going to do is just pull it back some. And you want to make sure that your brush is, you want to, two things that I probably should have told y'all from the beginning is you want to make sure that your brush is clean and that your glass is really clean and that there's nothing on your glass, because whatever is on this side of the glass is going to show. So like where I painted the frame, I just made sure that there was no paint on this side, and I just cleaned it really good. I went over it with like rubbing alcohol and everything just to make sure that it was really
Donna,
good and
it
clean.
is a rice decoupage paper, and this one's by Dixie Belle Paint Company.
Right. And then I'm just gonna take the brush.
Because this is a little bit bigger than most of the tissue papers that we get.
Yeah, it's thicker than tissue paper.
And larger in size too.
Right. And if you have a wrinkle, you can kind of just lift your paper up. It is forgiving in that kind of way.
That's the advantage of the thicker paper too.
Right. So you can kind of lift it up and then just work it.
And this brush that she's using is the Scarlet brush by Dixie Belle Paint Company. It's got really stiff bristles.
Yeah, it's really stiff, so it allows you to...
it's made for top coating is what it's made for.
But it allows me to push against the edge to get it to get it tucked all the way to the sides.
Right.
That's why I used this one versus another one.
The zebra alternative would have been the zebra top coat brush. It's kind of equivalent to this one as far as quality goes.
All right, can I go sideways?
Yeah, you just pull it. Yeah, you can pull it towards you.
Yeah.
I'll move these out of the way so they don't get messed up. Well, that was a good question because it's big and it looks like tissue paper. But if you see all these giant white spots in it, that's the really thick rice fibers. Or they make it out of mulberry.
It's like our decoupage paper. It's just much.
It's much thicker.
It's thicker and bigger.
Yep. And they do a CMYKW print, so the white is printed as well. So
when you're working with something this big on a surface like this, especially with it being glass, you just want to look for air bubbles. Like with my other one, I didn't have a problem. Like when they did pop up, I just used this brush and I just pushed the air bubble to the end. And then I'm just pushing it all the way to the edge and making sure that everything is nice and clear coated. Now, as far as the overhang, especially up here, once it's all the way completely dry, I was able to just take my X-Acto knife and kind of trim that away. But I waited until it was completely dry before I did that on this other one. So that way I could get and the excess paper off, is because like it's see-through, almost like, I guess, stained glass, right? Isn't that what you would compare it to?
Yes, similar. Yeah. You know how they have the faux stained glass?
Yeah, that's what it would kind of be like. Okay, so I'm just going to push this to the side and let it dry because I have another one. Well,
you're not sticking in this corner.
But it's
probably need to take your scissors and make a slice.
Let's see. If I could just trim it up here.
X-Acto knife time.
X-Acto knife, yeah.
Like a frosted glass. Yes, Karen, that's a great analogy on that one.
Which you might be able to see it when I show them the other one.
Yeah, they will. They'll be able to see it.
The difference between. So with this paper being wet, it's extremely delicate, but
it's not cutting too easy, even with the X-Acto.
I'm just wanting to get this excess off so I can push my edges to be firm. So you can, if you can cut it exactly the size, that would be help you in that way, if that's what.
Yeah, and if you're having trouble in the corners, all you got to do is snip with your scissors close to the corner, and you'll be able to lay your corners down pretty easily.
So like, I'm just wanting to make sure. And then I'll just.
And it is much easier to cut when it is dry.
Yeah, versus when it's wet, for sure.
Because you would think with an X-Acto knife and it being wet, it should just be cutting through it like hot butter. But right there, she's cutting the dry parts, and it does.
Right. I'm just gonna
snag a rotary cutter from Penny. It's so charming.
Ah, yeah.
We have a big rotary cutter paper cutter.
Yeah, but not like for that. Yeah. I know what she's talking about. I've actually forgotten those things. It's been a minute since I've used something like that.
We probably have one laying around here somewhere.
Oh, don't tear, don't tear.
That was a close call. She almost tore that one.
That's okay. It's okay because my wood is there.
So it did tear a little bit?
Yeah, but my wood is right there. You know, like the frame on the other side is right there.
Cool. Snag a rotary cutter. Yeah, I bet we have one. It's this kind, right? Like you use on a self-healing mat.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna put a little bit clear coat here to make sure that my edges are all the way down.
Remember, guys, the trick is not to oversaturate it. Just like with the front where she made sure it didn't puddle up when she painted the glass itself. You don't want to do. You want to do the same thing on the back side.
So we're just gonna.
You just want to give it something to bond onto and basically keep it glued down for you.
Right. And then that is there. And that's there. And then it doesn't hurt to flip it over. And check.
Looks good. Everything's straight.
Yeah.
Like it should be. Looks good.
Okay, so let's see. Let me see if I can get well, it's not going to touch, is it?
No, it's not
going to touch because of the frame.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's not going to touch. My brain says I got to find something to put it on, but
Jamie
not
says
really.
she's anxious for the reveal.
I know, right? Okay, so this is the front side. All right, so I haven't done anything to it. I just scuff sanded it and cleaned it really good. And then you can see that I have it taped off. And we're going to be using, is this one of Silk's New Colors?
Yes.
Yes. And it is called...
So my camera is almost 8 foot in the air, and I'm still not able to get it all in the same frame. Sorry about that, guys.
It still looks good, though. You can still see it.
Tina said awesome.
What was this color called again?
That color is called Badlands. It's a brand new color by Silk. I haven't had time to get those updated yet. I got to get those because I have to download the images from Dixie Belle's retailers portion to be able to add all this stuff online. And I know that it was available for me to get today, but we were out looking for stuff and found nothing.
So this is your all-in-one paint, right? It's your primer, your top coat, your top coat, and your sealer built in. So once this dries, it's I don't have to add an extra sealer or anything like that to it. It's completely done.
May made it. It said, "Hi, friends."
Hi, May.
Is our audio still acting up, guys, or did I get that solved? I'm pretty sure it should be solved. I hope it's solved.
Yeah, hope so. So it's like a really neutral tan color. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, it's a nice color.
Very neutral. But again, like I said, it's your one and done.
Karen said it sounds good now. That's what I thought. Tina said it's still popping every now and then. It only happens on the live. I've tested this on recording multiple times, so I think it's going to be probably a Wi-Fi issue in between. But the box is only about 15 feet from here.
And
Yes, one coat, May.
one coat. So one and done. It's your primer, your top coat, and paint all built in. And it is a self-leveler, so it will level out with brush strokes pretty decent. A lot of that depends on, you know, which way you go, and the paintbrush that you're using is which one's this one again?
It says it on it, or it should.
It says zebra.
That's the triangle trim brush.
Yeah.
I'll look up the exact name for it.
I can't remember the name of this one.
It's a good brush.
Yeah, it works really good for this. And
It's not live yet. Only round and Palm Pros. So I must have forgot to click the make live.
I like this paint
Yeah.
for stuff like this because you don't have to seal it up. Like you can paint and then you can be done.
It's called a triangle brush, and it comes in the kit, the Zebra Best of Zebra Brush Set 5-piece, for sure. I don't know why I didn't get that one up. Mama said, I think I could use that one. Talking about
This
the paint,
paint?
yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't know if we said it already, but silk is a really hard top. It's a really hard paint. So
You got it.
it's once it's on there, it's on there. So you want to make sure that you're working it the way you want it to be worked from the get-go.
It's not easy to distress. So you can, but you'll use effort, especially the longer you let it sit and cure up. It just gets harder. Silk dries from the top down, so usually when you go through for your second coat, you want to wait at least 2 to 4 hours before you go through with your second coat, so that way you can make sure that it is all the way dry. It just depends on your area, the humidity and stuff like that.
May ask, do you wet it first?
No, you don't. But I will say this. We live in Alabama, so if it's hot, if it gets really hot and then yeah, I will add water. And like this brush, that's why I had to go get was my brushes because I had just washed them. So I didn't start out with a dry brush. I started out with a brush that was, fresh out of the sink.
Right.
So it wasn't
soaking
wet, but it was still damp. It wasn't all the way dry. So it doesn't hurt. But like with chalk paint where you spray it with water and thin it down in that kind of way, you don't do that with the silk paint. But again, we live in Alabama.
Yeah, if it's hot outside, you're going to need to use water because it's going to dry too quick.
If I use it in this summer, I'll use a little bit of water because I need it to
And it is brutal to sand.
Yeah.
It doesn't sand easy like chalk paint does.
And like it
Karen
dries.
asked, will it accept wax? Yes,
Yeah.
you can put wax on it.
You can put wax on it, and then even if you are painting something, even though it has a top coat built into it, if you still feel like it's going to get a lot of wear and tear and a lot of drinks and stuff like that, you can always go over it with an additional clear coat just to give it that extra protection.
Yeah, they actually make a separate clear coat for it called extra coat.
Yeah.
We generally just stick to the flat clear coats.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with just going over it with a clear coat, like with just the flat clear coat or satin, either one, if I felt like it needed something more than what this top coat was built in. You can mix silk paint with silk paint to come up with your own custom color, but you cannot mix silk paint with chalk paint as far as mixing the two paints together to get your own custom color.
Because you'll dilute your top coat.
Yeah, just keep that in mind. They don't mix well. But now we're going to chalk paint on top of this. And then I will go over it with wax just to seal that chalk paint up. But I'll show you that. So this is this. This is one coat of this paint, and it's decoupaged. And that's drying, and then my paint is drying. So I'm going to push this one to the side, and I'm going to show you
She's Martha Stewart. Step. She's Martha Stewart in this one.
Yeah, I prepped for this piece today, so let me get this out of the way.
Missy, would you call this project Scandinavian Farmhouse? Lol, I love this. That's May.
Why couldn't it be Scandinavian? Those photos gave us nothing to go off of, to me. I don't see why. It fits the colors. Okay, so I just want to set this over here.
Okay. Most of the time, you can get silk done in one coating. Sometimes you can't, depending on the surface that's underneath it.
Yeah, and that one was dark. This is dark wood, so it was.
And it matters how thick you apply it too. If you apply it pretty thick, you can get it to coat.
I'm gonna grab.
My first experience with silk was a very negative one. I painted something white, and it I had to sand on it for probably about 5 minutes with the palm sander, random orbital, just to get it back smooth where I let the paint drag out.
Okay.
May said, y'all, I took a decorating quiz and it said my style was Scandinavian farmhouse. What even does that mean?
I don't know. She showed me the pictures too, and I was like,
Scandinavian.
It's very to me, it looked like just modern, but there was no color or anything. There was no.
Maybe that's why. Scandinavian.
There was nothing like. I don't know how that was farmhouse, but I don't know.
Everything blonde, Jamie said.
Okay,
Karen says she's never heard that term. I ain't never heard of it either.
I have, actually.
Jay Matthews says, I'm here. I made Dabby Dab Gang.
I actually have heard that, and it wasn't that long ago that I heard that. And the piece that was done was a very light color piece. So maybe there's not a lot of color in that. Whatever. Okay, so this piece is dry. So this is my back, right? I put a coat of the silk on the back. I've decoupaged my paper to the glass. It's completely dry. And then this is my front. So can you see it really good?
Yeah, that looks really good.
Okay, so
I got myself out of the way so they could be able to see it.
If it was daytime and you held it up in the sunlight, you would be able to see this. So you couldn't see through it.
No, but it had would be the frosted window.
The frosted
like
window.
Was talking about earlier.
Yes, that's what it would look like. So I do want to paint the back of this so that this is all brighter. So we'll do that. But this has got 2 coats of the silk on it, and then it's my dry decoupage paper. So this is step 2 of when that one dries.
May said that is stunning, and Karen said that is gorgeous.
I really like it, and I think that they would be really pretty individually, just hanging up on its own, or I think you could hang them up side by side, or maybe put something in the middle. But even, I think they would look great together. I think they look great on their own. And it has the original handles, and it was okay with us because we have these iron knob looking things at the store that I didn't bring home with me.
May said, is that clear glass with deco paper, or did you treat the glass first?
I didn't do anything to the glass but clean it really well.
And then applied the clear coat?
Right. Applied the clear coat flat, and then laid my paper down, and then sealed the back of the paper up with the clear coat to make sure everything was nice and glued down. And now it is 100% completely dry. So now we can put some white paint on here to keep this bright. And again, I still don't have my brush.
Jamie said that's so pretty. May said, wow.
So the reason why we're putting white on the back is to keep it bright so it doesn't have that frosted look.
Judy said, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Judy.
Good evening.
There we go.
Let me grab
I'll take it just a little bit higher.
because I don't want to pour directly onto the decoupage paper because I don't want to soak it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to soak it.
No.
Because if you soak it with the paints, so if you ever watched a video where we paint the backside of the decoupage and then put it on something so we don't have to paint the whole piece white, if you let it get too wet, your white paint will actually penetrate through the decoupage paper and come out the other side. So that's why she's saying you don't want to soak it.
We don't want to soak it. We don't want to directly squeeze the paint onto it. And again, I'm not going to use water with it because we're just doing a light coat of the white so that this is bright and not frosted like how it looks. So if you were liking the frosted look, then you could leave it like that.
I gave this one a different camera angle so they can see you from 2 different angles while you paint it. Or most of it. It's huge. Like I said, my overhead cam is 8 foot in the air now. It's at the ceiling, and we're still not getting this whole thing in there, which is crazy to me.
Right. I might need my water bottle because the white is thick.
Well, you only need the thin coat at first, right? And then you can go back over it with a better coat.
Yeah, if I have to.
Because you just don't want the white to bleed through.
Right.
Which it will do. I did it on accident a while back.
I just needed, it was because my white was so thick.
White and caviar are 2 of the thickest paints in my experience.
I just needed it to spread a little bit more like that. I didn't.
Now, are you using a lot of pressure? Are you using a little pressure? Are you worried
just
about
a
it
little bit
peeling off?
Yeah, I mean it has the flat coat. I sealed the back of the paper up with the flat coat. So
will the chalk paint reactivate the water-based clear coat?
It shouldn't. That's why I didn't spray the piece down with water.
Right. I don't think it will either because once the clear coat's dry, it's dry. Yeah, see, there's no bleed through. That's good.
Yeah. So I'm just wanting to.
And that way, guys, when it gets hung up on the wall, you don't have it. It's not dark, so it's what kind of paint is the white? That's cotton, right?
Yes, this one's cotton.
Dixie Belle cotton.
It's just your pure white.
It's the brightest white that they make. It's a really good. It's a pretty high. That's a volume. We go through a lot of
we go
cotton,
through a lot of cotton.
and the next one we go through the most of is caviar, then fluff, which is another white color.
Yeah.
Because farmhouse white is the in thing still. Which Missy's wanting to add them pops of color. She's been doing pretty good with it. Like last week on our live, she did the pink.
Right.
And then the Haint blue. I think that's the first time she's ever painted anything Haint blue.
I've only used Haint. That would be the second time I've used Haint blue. The first time I was like, I don't know.
I like using colors like apricot. Unfortunately, apricot has been discontinued for the time being by Dixie Belle. They came up with that other color that's kind of similar to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you liked that color, then you would like Cottage Door because it was very close to it, I think.
I put a link in the description for the white paint, or not the description, in the chat, just in case you guys are looking for some. Yeah, our new colors got held up for a couple days because of the freezing temperature. So Dixie Belle had put a hiatus on shipping anywhere with freezing temperatures. Because if you don't thaw your paint out right, it will spoil.
Mm-hmm.
So that they answered my question on that one when I asked them. Because I believe it was, I believe Karen asked me about the paint, and then I was really worried about shipping paint to Washington while the freeze was going on. I have a large dresser piece that I want to paint in the navy.
Ooh, yeah. What's that next color I'm fixing to do?
On that piece over there, I
Yeah.
think you got midnight.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's not in the navy.
I'm pretty sure you got midnight. In the navy's a pretty color.
I'm fixing to paint a blue piece. And I'm fixing to decoupage it. And I can show you all that paper too. Okay, so this is your back coat. It's painted white. And there's a chance that we might need to go over it again because I'm just doing a light thin coat. But that will keep it from being the frosted look. And then so whatever is behind it doesn't kind of show through any of the lightest marks. So we possibly could go through this. When that's dry really good, I probably will go through and do a second coat just to make sure that it's all the way covered and not going to show anything through. But this is the front side of it, and I'm going to wash my hands because I got white paint on me.
That happens.
Yeah.
If you get white paint on you, get white paint on all your other stuff
yeah.
too. Karen said, yes, you can't ship art glitter glue in the winter. Now, I knew that from watching May May.
Right.
She was talking about that. You can't ship it in the cold.
You can use it in the cold. I used it today.
Well, it's not cold in our house.
I know. It's on there.
Well, I need to wait to order paint then. I believe as long as you're there to receive the shipment, it should not be an issue because I don't send stuff via FedEx and the Postal Service doesn't leave stuff in their trucks overnight, or I don't think they do. I know that FedEx does.
Okay.
And that's who Dixie Belle ships with, which is why they put our shipping on hiatus.
So this is what my thoughts were for this because I do like it how it is, but I thought I wanted to give it a little bit more character, right? I have this stencil, and I don't know which one this one was. Do you? Sonoma. Okay. So it's a Dixie Belle stencil. So it has all of these little tiles on there, and then it has just this piece right here. So I thought to make this piece make sense, I thought let me just stencil.
Now I don't have the stencils online yet because they're on back order, but as soon as I can order them, I'll get them added to our website.
Right. Let me just, I'm going to stencil this right here. So I have tape. But I'm kind of doing these stencils a little bit different. So I don't want to, I want it to look faded and worn, right? So I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't move on me. But I'm also going to tape, I'm trying to make sure that, does that look?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to stencil this part.
She said, good, then I'll order.
And I moved it. So the right.
Right there.
Okay. So I don't want to stencil this part on this side. So I'm gonna.
And this part's really important when you're messing with stencils.
I'm just covering up so I don't accidentally go too far because when you're stenciling, you can easily do that without even realizing you went that far.
We did that on that, what was it, that apricot table. I actually accidentally went over the edge. Missy had done a wonderful job of painting the table, but I ended up, I was the one that was doing the stenciling, right?
Yeah, you did the stencil on that one.
Because we needed to do a sewing machine motion with the paintbrush. Go straight up and down to get the best result.
So I think we're good.
But you could use tacky spray on the back of your stencil and make sure that it's light tack, and then attach it, and you don't have to be so precise like we were in that one video.
Right. I'm actually gonna stencil it like how I do the other ones. I'm not gonna use that brush.
Oh. Well, I got it just in case.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it because I don't want it to. I want it to look like it's worn. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So we're going to use 3 colors that I think match really well with this, and that's driftwood, and it's just a light gray color.
Yep.
It's very pretty. And drop cloth, because you can't go wrong with the creamy white.
Y'all have seen drop cloth a million times.
Right. Sandbar is another one that I'm going to use. It pairs up really good with the...
It's a shade lighter than the Badlands.
Yeah. But it kind of, all these colors are mixed in here, minus the blue. And for me, I'm just scared that I'm not going to be able to match that blue up enough. But I'm not wanting this to be the focal point. So I'm just going to lightly add character to the frame of this. So we're going to start with this middle piece. And I'm just going to open my paints up. And I'm just using chip brushes for this stencil. That's not normally what I use, but for what I'm doing, I think it worked out really well. If I can get this open. There we go.
I'm trying to get this view right. There we go.
So you got it?
Yeah, I got it. Make your front view larger, but keep the overhead view in check too.
Right. Okay, so I just have cheap chip brushes, no big deal, and I have a paper towel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with sandbar, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the brush, and then I'm going to use the paper towel to kind of like wipe it all back off. So my brush just looks like that. And then I just kind of like I just like stipple it, because I'm okay with texture too if it gives any of that. And I'm just going to cover. I'm not covering the full, like I'm not.
You're just dusting it, basically.
Yeah, I'm just, thank you. That's what I'm trying to figure out, like what word am I going to use? And then I'll just, not necessarily reload, but just wipe again where the paper towel, where I just wiped it off the first time. And I'm just going to go over it, and then.
And this is a good technique to do when you're wanting to do something like this and just give it a slight aged appearance.
Right.
Almost like it's sun, like the sun faded it.
Yeah. But now if you wanted to go, if you wanted your stencil to be, you know, really shown, you can easily do that. And it would look good. So then after that's done, I'm going to take the gray and do the same thing where I dip my brush in there just a little bit and then wipe it off. So there's no excess. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So that way I'm just going over it on top of the sandbar. So I hope it shows up really good in camera. I didn't think about that. I know it shows up in
right
person.
now. It will when you
release.
Yeah, when we pull the stencil up. And these stencils are Mylar, so you can wash these things in the sink pretty easy.
Yeah, they're really easy, especially if you have a Scrub Daddy, because you can use the Scrub Daddy to just scrub the stencil without messing it up. And then it works. And then lastly, I'm just going over it with drop cloth. That's my creamish white color. Same thing, wipe it off, and then just.
So it adds a little depth. By using the 3 colors, she's adding some depth, not just aging.
Right. So then we should be able to pull it off. And that's what you have.
A nice, soft, subtle effect.
Yeah. And then so once it's all the way dry, you can easily take a wet rag and kind of just wipe it again. So if you're wanting to do a little bit of distressing or some light sandpaper if you wanted to. Can you see it really good?
Yeah, you can see it on both cameras.
So
it's
it's
really
just,
good on this one.
I'm just wanting it to look a little bit aged. I'm not wanting this to be the focal point. I want the paper to be the focal point. And so that's what I want to do with the sides too. Like, so I want to just give, I'm going to have to go sideways.
Can you guys see that pretty good on the stencil job? Karen said very nice.
Yeah, I like it. So I'm wanting to do the same thing for here and here. Like I'm just wanting to like kind of age the corners. but not give it anything, not take away. So just to give a little bit of detail to the frame. So I'm just kind of going to place it a little bit sideways. And make sure you cover up what you don't want stenciled.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Mame said yes, very subtle, pretty.
Yeah, very. And then I'm just going to do the same thing too. I'm just going to start out with sandbar. And then I'm going to go on my outside edges first because it can be stronger there. And then do a dusting on the inside.
Now you're going to do this for all four corners, or you're just going to do
I'm
two
just kind of
corners?
like hitting and missing it because I want this to look like it's been like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
weathered.
Yeah, weathered. That's what I'm wanting.
I just realized the zoom changes the color of the wood a little bit. I mean the paint. Yeah, it does. It's because I don't have auto white balance on. But I'm always having to adjust the white balance because of the lights. Because we got the really warm light and then we have the neutral lights and they really collide. So I'm always having to adjust the white balance on everything depending on what light's hitting it at the time.
Just make sure you're wiping your brush back. Like when you go to dip it in the paint, just make sure you're wiping it back so that way it doesn't, you don't come in full force with color. So then you can take that off and see how it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, that looks good to me.
And then I kind of just want to do that.
Yeah, it looks really nice on camera.
Yeah, I just kind of want to do that hit and miss throughout the frame. Is that good?
Yeah.
And then this, like it has different one. Well, yeah, they're different. So
you have 3 different patterns.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Jay Matthews gave you a 10 out of 10 on that.
Oh, thank you. Trying to make sure that. And because we're just doing a light dusting, the paint dries really fast.
Really fast.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, if you want to soften this up, all you have to do is go over with a wet rag and do you a little bit of wet distressing because the silk paint isn't gonna wet distress.
Right.
Because
yeah.
it's already,
you can wipe it off.
It's already a hard finish.
Right. It has got its top coat built in, so you can just wipe it.
Yeah, it handles business pretty well.
Yeah.
And this can be a fast process. It can be a slow process. It depends on how much detail you want to put into it.
Right.
And how fast you want to try to get the project done. So you can do it as fast as you want or as slow as you want. Stenciling is actually one of my more favorite things to do. We even made a stencil one time, and Missy had to cut it out with an X-Acto knife.
Yeah, it was a little bit of work.
And it was Mylar sheets. It was it was a little bit of work. Shoot, I think you worked on that thing for almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a little bit of work.
And it was just a man on the moon stencil.
Yeah, I like
that looks good.
Okay, let me flip this.
Gotcha.
There we go. And you could actually, we could actually go over it with some dark wax too and shade right here and shade right there. Yeah, we might actually do that.
Dark wax. You could use a black glaze if you had it.
Yeah, I think we will. And then the piece that I have that will go, it'll fit right here. So I wish I would have brought it, but it's not surprising that I forgot it.
Yeah. Crazy stuff comes up at the store all the time.
Kind of hectic. It's been a hectic 2 days.
We had the AC guys back out there today to replace the motherboard on the unit,
Right.
and it turned out the motherboard was fine, and it was a gas valve was shorting, so they ordered a gas valve, put the new motherboard on my old unit on the backside. I would love to see you wax it.
Yeah,
I'm always intrigued by wax. No, that's May who said that.
Okay, I'm gonna wax it. I definitely want to put some dark wax around these and shadow that up for sure.
Now, if we were going to vote on it, it probably wasn't going to get waxed.
Yeah, it probably would. All right, so I'm just gonna do that. Let's see, let me not get my brushes confused. I'm just gonna dust it.
Lorna said that's a pretty versatile stencil. It is, because it's it's 3 rows of 3 designs, so that all 3 designs are different. So you actually get you can get some pretty random patterns, especially if you move the stencil around and start stenciling over areas that you've already stenciled.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some really neat effects with this one. I actually thought maybe we should cut it out. If you wanted to keep a continuous look across the board and have it tile, then you could cut it into different pieces. And it's even got indexing marks on each corner of the patterns for you to be able to index, so you can tile the pattern across a large surface, which is really cool. Because not all the big stencils will index.
Right. Yeah.
So even on our other tiling patterns, we have to be really careful in our overlay, because each one doesn't actually match the way it's supposed to be, or the way you would think it would. So we have to basically overlay it a little more than 1/4 of the entire piece and make sure that lines up before we do the next one. I think the biggest one that we've done was that black and buffalo check bench we did.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest stencil that we had done to date.
I'm just wanting to do the light, so maybe I'll just do.
Tamitha said, "Hello, crafty friends." Hello, Tamitha.
Tam. So I think, because I'm not wanting it.
I got your box. I got your box today, so your stuff will be shipping tomorrow.
Should I go like that? Just like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Get a cattywampus. I love that word cattywampus, by the way, guys. I think I've used it 3 times today.
I'm gonna not paint that. I'm not gonna do that one. Just go in white.
So you're doing lighter strokes on this one than you did the
Yeah,
other
like
one?
I did even that one. See how I did that one really light?
Ever heard of a wampus cat? No, I have not. I haven't heard of a wampus cat.
I haven't either. And you would think I would.
Missy, you have the best eye for this, May said.
Oh, May. She's too nice.
Also, now Missy's head is not going to be able to fit on the camera, y'all.
Shush, no.
Sandy Pepper said, "Is that a skunk?"
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Hi, Sandy. She may have said hi, and I didn't see it earlier, so I want to make sure I cover that now.
I just want to see how light I'm going.
Tammy said, "Oh my, so pretty."
I like that.
Yeah, that's really good. You did a great job of getting that light effect.
It's really
That's
light.
barely noticeable on camera. That's how good you did fading that one in.
If you're wanting to go really light, then that would be just less paint. Like on this one, I barely did any. I didn't dip it into anything. I just was using what was on the paper towel.
She's talking about this one right here.
This one right here.
It's hard to see on overhead, so I wanted to make sure I changed the angle on this one.
So I wonder if I need to do something like, I don't need to go down right here, do I?
No, if you're going to be dark waxing, you could do random pattern if you wanted to. What do you guys think? Should we stencil the rest of it on both sides?
I don't want to stencil the rest of it, but I didn't know if I needed to add.
It almost looks sun faded in a good way.
Yeah, I didn't know if I needed to, but I don't want to go too overboard, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because then I don't want to take away
Donna
from
said
anything.
it's opposite of cattywampus.
Let me grab my brown wax and we'll brown wax it.
Lorna said no, don't stencil it.
No more, right?
No more.
Because you don't want to overkill. Yeah, you don't want to get carried away.
No more.
No more.
That's
That's
nice
clear.
guy. I heard that song today. Sandy said looks good as is.
Yeah, I like it.
May said I wouldn't keep going if that is me. Well, she said I wouldn't, but that is me.
Yeah. I'm looking for brown. What's this? That's black. I don't want black. I want. Do you know where my brown wax is? Right in front of me.
Right in front of you?
Right in front of me.
I don't think we knew we were going to brown wax.
No, I didn't. That's why I didn't grab it. But
And as always, she brought some clear wax.
I did bring some clear wax because I am going to go over it with the clear wax because I did use light paint, the chalk paint. So I don't want my dark wax to really darken it up so I can't see it. So.
And by the way, you guys, if anybody's come by the store looking for the large containers of clear wax, I got them all in one shipment. So they didn't arrive on the last shipment. They arrived with my original order arrived with my second shipment, which was Saturday.
So this is just a damp paper towel, and I'm just going over
Wasn't
it.
it Saturday when that came in? Oh, no, it was, yeah, it was Saturday because I put it out Monday morning.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe so. Yeah. So I'm just going to use microfiber cloth, and I'm just going to go over it. And I can go over the whole entire thing just so that way it's nice and even. Instead of just waxing the chalk paint, you might as well go ahead.
Do what? Oh, instead of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well just go ahead and go over the whole entire thing.
Sandy said it looks good as is.
She don't want me to dark wax it. Is that what she's saying?
No. About stenciling it.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
still on the stenciling thing.
Oh.
I mean, you could leave it as is. It looks pretty
Oh,
good.
you could.
But I think the dark wax will give it that faded effect around the corners.
I think so too.
Almost like framing it in.
And it won't take much dark wax either.
And our next how-to video, guys, is going to be about crackle. And then we're going to do one on how we clean our paintbrushes, the most effective way that we clean our paintbrushes. And you know, on the last live stream we talked about it. I use scrubby soap for cleaning brushes. And if you came to Crafts Acropolis last year, that's what I used to clean all those brushes with, because it is literally the fastest way for me to clean a chalk painted brush. And it's good for getting Mod Podge off your brushes and everything.
I use it for everything. I use it to scrub my hands, to get paint off my hands.
Yep.
My brushes. Everything. All right, so it's nice and clear coated.
And the neat thing about the clear wax going over the silk paint, it leaves a really smooth finish. Yeah, May just said it. I love the velvet feel the wax leaves.
Yeah. Now, silk paint is, like I said, it's self-leveling, and so it dries and feels completely different versus the chalk paint.
Yep.
Chalk paint you can feel a little bit, but the silk isn't like that. I love silk for the way it does that, and as long as you don't overwork and
like when I let my brush drag across the surface.
So when you're painting, You know, you just want to go as long as it can, and as soon as your paintbrush starts dragging, you want to stop, reload, and then continue on.
Yeah.
You don't want to overlap. Where chalk paint, you can just go everywhere. With silk, you kind of need to go as long, even strokes as you can. I should probably get a brush and try to control where I'm wanting the brown wax to go, don't you think?
What kind of brush you want?
It wouldn't hurt.
You'll probably need to grab a different one.
I have a chip brush right here I can just use.
Are you going to put the handle back on it?
I do have a handle, but they're at the store. They're really fancy. Look, they're like cast iron, antique looking. So it would fit right here, and it just has like the knob. You know which ones I'm talking about? And it would cover right there. But I left them at the store, so I do want to. I want to grab them and put those on because I have one for each door. So.
Yeah, this is one of those piecemeal ones. You know, you get the doors; they're missing parts. Right. They had hinges on them. We took those off.
But I took the hinges and everything.
But they were missing the original handles. So Missy went to the store and she was going to get them, but then something happened.
I got sidetracked as we were closing up, and then I realized it when we got home that I left them. So I'm just using a chip brush, and
Tina gave you a thumbs up on that one.
I just put a little bit on there, and I'm just kind of putting it in the spot, and then I kind of just want to.
Sometimes I wish you would do a whole episode on using gilding wax.
Okay.
That too intrigues me, Mame said.
Just straight up gilding wax. All right, I'm just going to lightly go over it because I do have my clear wax on it.
And the advantage of using a chip brush for this is it's going to give you these unusual shading effects.
Like dry brushing.
Instead of like when you rub wax on or you brush wax on with a fancy brush.
And the good thing is this is glass, so it just wipes off the glass.
And technically you don't have to tape glass off. You can just scrape it with a razor blade.
Yeah.
But that can be a lot of work. Yeah, sometimes it's just easier to go ahead and tape it off. And she's not using a bunch of wax. If you notice, she's kind of tapping tapping the lid.
I always keep my lid because you can kind of wipe off your excess and then reload it. Okay, so let's see if we can. Just want it to be even.
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
What do you think?
I'm probably a little heavier where the crevices are.
Yeah.
And then kind of fade to like lighten your stroke on the way out. And then come back in and wipe it. Yeah, just like that. And I think that'll give you a real good cut in look. Let's see if you can wipe that dark away. And you should get a pretty good result. Let me push the camera. There we go. So they can see what you're doing.
Almost like blending it.
Yeah, that's essentially what you're doing. And you can soften up any area that you can't get softened up enough with the brush. You can wipe it back off with your Sandy said it really brings out the stenciling.
It does, doesn't it?
What was I trying to say? You can wipe it out to blend it even better with your rag.
Oh, that's all right. That's the advantage of clear waxing before you dark wax, is because normally when you're just dark waxing on top of paint, it's gonna grab it
and stay.
But because we clear waxed it, that's the barrier that we have first before it can just stay.
And if you get a troublesome spot with the dark wax,
You just use clear wax.
yeah, use your little clear wax on your rag and then wipe it over the top of it and start blending it out.
Yeah. It won't take it all the way. You know, sometimes they don't take it all the way, but it can take it pretty good.
They grabbed pretty good right there on that one spot. But yeah, you can always soften it up with your towel. Just like she did just then, right there on that rough spot.
Yeah.
And it's just giving it a subtle change to the color, you know, to all the colors really. But I like where she went in on these portions here, and see there's dark on each side, and then she'll be able to soften that one up on the opposite side closest to her a little bit with a rag. And see that faded right in. I mean, that's the advantage of using that clear wax. And Missy's better at brown wax than I am. I can't do a how-to waxing video because I'm better at the crazy stuff. She's better at the stuff that really matters, like waxing the furniture and painting it really nice. She's even been practicing fading.
I'm working on it.
She's
blending.
practicing doing blends and
blending two colors is not easy. It's hard.
Now, when I do the how-to, we're going to be blending about 4 colors using a smoky blend technique, and we're going to use a bigger brush to make it easier for ourselves.
All right. So can you see the difference between?
Yeah, you can see the difference for sure.
Between the waxed and not waxed.
Yep. Because you can actually see where the wax is ended and where the paint only is.
Oh, it's dark, but it's okay.
No, that looks good. I mean, you're shadowing it in really well. So what do you guys think so far? Is this looking pretty good? Oh, I like how it grabbed in that little bit of wear. That's going to give it a really neat effect when it's you know, when somebody views it in person. Everybody will be like, wow. Meme says she loves it. Shandy gave you a thumbs up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Karen said it's amazing with extra exclamation points and a smiling face.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Tamara said gorgeous. Tina said love it with a cat with hard eyes. Donna said looks good. I think it looks good too.
Thank you. I like waxing with the chip brushes because you can be a little bit rough with them and it don't hurt your feelings with your bristles, you know?
Yeah. So I was wrong last time. These brushes aren't 75 cents. They're $1.50. But they don't fall apart like the 75-cent brushes you get at Harbor Freight.
Right.
Which is great. Now there's a $6 premium chip brush, which I think we've used it occasionally.
Oh yeah.
For giving us rougher texture on chalk paint. Donna said looks good.
Thank you.
I think I already said that though. I get 2 pop-ups in my feed sometimes.
That's kind of it.
Yeah, that looks really good.
I don't want to mess with it no more. And so for this, you just need to let it, you know, dry up. The wax will harden, even though the DC Bell has the clear coat built in, or the silk has clear coat built into it. The wax will cure and harden up, and so that will be, you can't really feel it.
No, it's
just a little bit, yeah.
It's a nice smooth finish.
Because I think it was, I wasn't so much like globbing the wax, you know.
Right.
I was just like dry brushing it on there.
Yeah, but it mixes really well with the clear. Yeah. The shading with the brown is amazing, Tina said.
Thank you, Tina.
warmed the piece right up, Sandy said.
Thank you.
Now it's Scandinavian. Now it's Scandinavian country.
I mean, could this be, yeah, farmhouse Scandinavian?
Farmhouse Scandinavian.
Now it is, yeah.
Isn't that where the movie Frozen was? Isn't that the story? The story for Frozen.
Yeah.
The actual real story. I think that's a Scandinavian folktale.
You want to go that camera?
Maybe said lol.
Lol.
What you want me to do with this one?
Let's see if you can see the whole thing.
Let's go straight up and down. Let me zoom out. All right. Oh, we are zoomed out. Holy cow. So yeah, that's a big old piece, guys.
It is big.
See if you can lower it towards us some, because the light is really eating up the. There we go.
Is that better?
Yes. Yeah, that looks really, really good. Let me back up the camera just a little bit more so they can take the whole thing in.
All right, so just imagine that it has an old handle on it right here, because that's what I have at the store.
Main camera? Oh, let me get myself out of the way here. Yeah, so you'll hang them how? Side by side?
Like, that's how I would like to hang. Like, I think it would look good just as one.
I think a pair would be the best
But
way.
I like the pair too. Like, I like how it would be side by side, because this is what I'll do to the second one once that top coat is all the way dry. And then I'll put another white coat on the back side, and then I'll seal that up too, the chalk paint on the back side too, so that way it's protected. And then I really want that it's it looks like an old cast iron with a knob handle on it, and I think that's what I want to do that.
You're not talking about the Coke handles that we got, are you?
The what?
It says Coca-Cola on it. You're not talking about those.
No.
Okay.
It's like, it looks like an old door that you put the key in there.
I figured. Yeah, I was just messing around.
But I have two of those, so I want to put one on each one. I thought that would be really cute. So no treasures tonight, guys, but I do have this.
Which that kind of was a treasure, finding those two doors.
It's definitely a repurposed.
Yeah, it's most
definitely. Because it's just a china cabinet door. They would have easily ended up in the trash.
And I tried to change the thumbnail last minute, but it wouldn't let me delete the thumbnail. So that's why the thumbnail still said what it said.
Yeah.
Lorna said, "You have the touch."
Thank you.
Let me bring this back down.
I can show the decoupage of the month papers again, just in case you weren't on when Rodney showed it.
All right, there you go.
Also, when you wax something and then you immediately touch it, your fingerprints will be in it, so keep that in mind. That's what I'm trying to do, is fix my fingerprints where I just picked it up to show y'all. So it's always best to let it dry before you start picking it up. But I just wanted y'all to see it. So I'm going to move it out the way.
Okay.
Because it's big too.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Karen said, "Don't forget to like the video." Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
That's the one, that's my weak area. I'm not very good at remembering to say that.
No, I'll never think about it, actually.
I think on the I said it on the how to use white lightning video. I hope anybody who was wondering how white lightning worked, I hope that video really showed you how effective that product is, and I even started the video off, if you haven't seen it, I started it off with it being nasty and making the counter was getting all nasty, and that's right after I sprayed it,
Mm-hmm. It works really good.
It's hard to stop working on something when you have it right in front of you, Tina said.
Yeah. I have to move it away. And
that's exactly what you put it way over there.
Not touch it, because that's what wax, until it's all the way hard and cured. Anytime you touch it with your fingers, put any pressure on it, you're just moving the wax. So if you can just wax it and wipe it down and then just let it dry and cure and harden up, it shouldn't do that. You just buff it really good. So you want me to go this camera?
Yes, this one.
So this is February's
Let me zoom in
Decoupage
a little bit.
of the Month Club. If you haven't signed up yet and you're interested in doing that, you can go to rustyacrylics.com. I'm going to stop because it ain't that. You go to
links in the description.
Links in the description. There you go.
It's a whole separate website, and it's a lot to say.
Yeah. So if you're interested in joining the Decoupage of the Month Club, click that link and sign up, and you get all 5 sheets for
$18.95. Free shipping. 15% discount off all items at rustyacrylics.com, except for classes and sale items.
Sale items, yeah. So this is what will be shipped to you for February if you sign up.
That's landscape.
So go that way.
Yep.
So you get this one.
I really like this one. It's a sepia tone with 3 colored pink flowers.
It's pretty. And then this one's landscape too?
Yep, that's landscape. And that one's also sepia, but with highlighted green and a little bit of peach color in the flowers, done with the airbrush tool.
That's really pretty. And this one goes this way?
Yep.
I like that one a lot.
I like that one a lot too. I had to make custom brushes to do these trees back here. So that made it fun. Fun.
And last.
Yep. And the mountain was done with a stamp tool inside Corel Painter, which is a really cool tool, because so you just stamp it on there and then you just fade in, give it some cross hatching, make it look cool.
But yep, so
I actually like that one the most.
I think
honestly.
this one would be
between these two. I think I like the one.
This one would be my favorite as far as that goes.
And the bird. Now I will say the bird is. I'm not.
And then this one.
He's kind of just thrown up there.
I like him. He's flying into the.
He is, but he's a basic bird. He's not a fancy bird like I've been doing.
I think these two would be my favorite ones out of the. Like these are the 2 that I would want to grab and do something with first.
Everybody said so beautiful, love tree, and then Jay said love trees.
Yeah, they're very pretty. So again, that link is in the description. You can, if you're wanting to sign up for that.
And you can go to our website, and it is there. It's on the very top. It'll say join our Decoupage of the Month Club in the teal color at the very top, and you click that, and it'll take you to rustyacrylicsclub.com, and that's where actual Decoupage of the Month Club membership's at. So, because like I said, I had to create a whole new website just to do the membership thing, because our current one wouldn't support it.
Well, that's all I got for y'all tonight.
Anybody got any questions or comments before we go?
Yeah.
Jesse, did you like the sugar britches? Karen says she's headed to sign up for the subscription. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
And
Thank you.
these, okay, so if you sign up after the 15th, right? Actually, it's the 17th, but it's 15th on the website for a reason. If you sign up after the 15th, you won't be billed immediately. You'll be billed on the 1st of the next month.
So 1st of February.
Yeah,
she'll be
February
billed.
1st, you'll be billed, and it ships out.
Yeah.
So, but like if you wait till February, you'll be billed February, and you'll get your stuff, and then you'll get your March stuff the following month.
Yeah.
Normal. May said this was fun.
Thank you, May. I watched your live today too, but I didn't catch all of it, but I caught.
You caught a good bit, because I was listening to
the books, those book things with the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
The Bible journal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was really neat. Yep.
All right. If nobody's got any questions,
That's it.
Catherine Blow said, "Beautiful work y'all make. I need to come to the store soon."
I know who Catherine Blow is. You know who she is.
I do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Hi, sweet girl. Hi, sweet girl. Yeah.
Sandy said, "Another great project.
Yep.
Thanks."
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank y'all for watching, guys. Thank y'all for hanging
Always.
out with us.
Always thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it so very much. So
Catherine
much.
says she loves us.
Oh, we love you. We love you, sweet girl. And
That's
we'll
it.
see y'all Friday.
Friday. Yep.
Yep.
God bless y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.